I'm Jay, and in this video I'm making a TV unit. To start out with, I've got my 3/4 inch 18mm plywood from a local hardware store. I've had them pre-cut most of the pieces that I needed, and I'm just marking out the holes and a few further cuts that I needed to make myself. Here I'm just transferring the lines from one piece to another and around the edges to get the right alignment. I've used one of the offcut pieces as a spacer to be able to draw parallel lines, same thickness as the wood, and then use the centres of that to find the holes where the screws will go. And I'm just marking all the positions of the screws with an awl before drilling them to prevent the drill bit from wandering. Here I've just clamped a few pieces together to be able to mark all the holes in one go, speed it up a little bit and drill all the holes one after the other quite quickly. I've used a few off-cut scraps of wood to prevent tear out and also prevent me from drilling into my own floor. Here I'm countersinking all the holes so that the screw heads go down and flush with the wood. I'll later be filling all the holes that are exposed on the surface of the wood with a similar colour to the wood filler and then sanding that flush. Now I'm just assembling the overall piece. In hindsight I should have varnished all of the pieces one by one and just screwing all the pieces together. Here I'm just test fitting the overall unit, checking which way around things are supposed to go before screwing it all together. This piece was stored vertically for a while and started to warp a little bit, so it's just required a bit of clamping force to keep it aligned while screwing it together. I've chosen not to glue and screw the pieces together, just in case I decide to take it apart for whatever reason. Now, here's where the unit is going to go in my living room, and there is a corner of the house that protrudes in this area a little bit. I should have noticed this earlier and cut the pieces accordingly before assembling it. I'm having to do that now, and just because I think it's going to be quicker, I've decided not to disassemble the whole unit in order to do that, and just doing it on the piece itself. I made the initial cuts with a circular saw and then just finished them up with the jigsaw in the areas that it couldn't quite reach. Now this middle piece was a lot trickier, but I could just about get to it with the jigsaw and a little bit fiddly, but it worked out alright in the end. And then I'm just sanding up the edges that I've just cut and the corners of the unit. These will be revisited with the orbital sander again after the screws are filled in. Now I've just gone to a local makerspace to make the plinth of the piece. It was a lot easier to make these long straight cuts on a table saw with a fence instead of messing about with the circular saw at this extent, especially with the piece that's going to be between the floor and the unit itself. I tilted the blade to as close to 45 degrees as I could get it. Unfortunately it wouldn't go all the way, and then cut the pieces and then sanded them to 45 on a disc sander to get the mitered edges bang on. Now I forgot to video part of this, but the plinth was joined on using pocket hole screws and glued as well, just for a bit of extra reinforcement. And then I've filled all the holes in and have come back with the orbital sander to get them all flush. The finish is a polyurethane based varnish. I've coated the sides and the top in total with 3 coats, 1 coat sanding and then 2 more coats, and I'll finish with a clip of me removing what was previously in that space and putting the unit in its final position. Hope you enjoyed the video.